Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Artist Chief. Today we have a very special guest from Arrowhead News and Rumors Report, Bryce. How's it going, Bryce?
Good. I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
Hey, appreciate you coming on. I was just curious, what led you to do YouTube? Like how did you become a fan, and what led you to do YouTube about the Chiefs?
So I've tried YouTube in the past, and one time I forgot my password, so I got blacked out, so that was gone. And then another time I just stopped doing it. So I've tried YouTube a few times in the past. Probably had like 3 other channels. Never got anywhere with it. Never got over probably 100 subscribers on anything. Uh, so I was like, I'm done. I'm quitting. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't got a million subscribers. So I quit. But then last year, after the Chiefs won the Super Bowl against the Eagles, I was like, okay, let's try this one more time. And I knew that the growth would take a lot. It wouldn't happen overnight, but staying patient, and we're about to go on 2,000 subscribers. So that's slowly but surely.
That's awesome. So how'd you become a Chiefs fan?
The Rams and Chiefs game back in what I think it was 2018. Just seeing that crazy game, I fell in love with how the Chiefs were playing, even
Yeah,
though they lost.
even though they lost, yeah, that was an epic game for the ages for sure. There was like no defense played whatsoever on either side. I think was it 48-50 or something by the end.
Yeah, it was a crazy game. Yeah.
Heck of a game. Can't win them all, but I wish we had. We did throw out a mailbag question, or mailbag for questions on X, and we are here to answer those for you guys. Um, whoa. The first one comes from at Squad TSF hashtag an Iowa dude in KC. What game made you a diehard Chiefs fan? We just found out.
The Rams and Chiefs won 2018. Yeah.
Uh, I don't have a specific one, but if you had to ask me, I'd say, and this makes me feel incredibly old, uh, probably the Seahawks game. I think it was in Arrowhead, and this was like way back in the day, and Derek Thomas sacked Dave Craig 7 times, and they lost. So I
Ooh.
was into defense and running backs. Quarterback wasn't really a thing back then for the Chiefs. I mean, not like a superstar quarterback, but so defensive play, running the ball, Marty Ball. That's kind of what got me into it. So that's for me. Um, hey, question for my co-host Bryce. For me, out of all the Kansas City Chiefs you have interacted with, who was the coolest?
Fans like fans or like players. The
Any
players.
player interaction, whether it was a reply on Twitter, an interview that you've done.
So the only Chiefs players that I've talked to would be Nazi Johnson and Rasheed Rice. Rasheed Rice, he's an awesome guy. He's very, very, very nice. I'll always remember that. That was on your Twitter Spaces. He's a nice guy. But Nazi Johnson, I got him on the show for an interview, so that Nazi Johnson would be my favorite.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there. I mean, I would have to agree with you with Rashi Rice coming on Spaces. That was just out of left field. Had no idea it was coming. I was just kind of shocked. I had no idea what to say at that point. I just didn't think it was something that was realistic. But yeah, he's really cool. And for me, it's Justin Reed. He drove about an hour and a half to meet me. I drove about an hour and a half to meet him, and brought my son, and he autographed jersey that he bought, and it was the first home Justin Reed jersey that he'd ever autographed. And he wrote it out to us, and took pictures with us and all this kind of stuff. So he's my favorite as far as coolest goes. But yeah, I totally get it. Having Nazi Johnson on, that would be my answer if I were you. Sure, that was super cool of him.
Yeah.
Let's see. I know we got one more. This is from you. For me, what do you do in the off season while the Chiefs aren't playing? I usually just sit in the corner and cry. I'm just bored. Um, as far as like sports go, I might watch some Sporting KC. It's not on my television very often. Not really into baseball. Trying to get into spring football. I know the UFL just started today. I don't know. It's just kind of a long, boring thing, and I just try to entertain myself however I can, painting pictures, playing video games, just whatever, doing YouTube episodes occasionally, that sort of thing. What do you do, Bryce?
Um, I make videos. The draft. We cover the draft, and then after the draft, there's a couple weeks after the draft where it's rowdy and everything's getting settled. But then, and I can't remember if it was June or July, but there's just that one month where there's like no news. Last year, I remember there's just that month where there's no news. I was struggling to make videos. There's just that month. There's nothing, really nothing. So this year we're gonna set up for that month that there's nothing. We're just gonna try and get on a bunch of people for interviews, and that's what we'll do in that month where there's nothing really going on.
That's a really good idea, and might I suggest doing mailbag episodes? That's always a good talking point. Just you can get fan interaction that way, and people like to hear their mailbag questions get answered. They feel like they're part of the show. Bryce, I feel like you've got a real positive future here. I started doing this when I was 40 years old. I'm 46 now, so at your age to do what you do, like it's very impressive. You know your stuff. You know your team's football. And, it's a really good show. Can you tell us, like where to find you on YouTube, where to find you on X, and all that kind of good stuff?
So YouTube, the channel's called Arrowhead News and Rumors Report. I'm trying to. I used to put out videos 3 times a week, and during the next few weeks, we probably will have a good amount of videos out and a lot of interviews. We have a lot of interviews lined up, and so you can find me there for YouTube, and then Twitter. It's the same thing, Arrowhead News and Rumors Report.
Right on. Well, I still got you. We did forget one question, and it was a topic du jour anyway, so I was about to bring it up myself. But this comes from Hayden. We got Hollywood at Hayden MVP 123. What is your opinion on the rugby player signing?
Louis Rees-Zammit, he's going to be the fastest player in the NFL now. Listen, I don't have a big thought on that right now, but what I'll say is he's an intriguing player. He's fast, he's athletic, and I could definitely see him back there in the backfield with just imagine Andy Reid on the beach this offseason getting some plays ready for Louis Rees-Zammit. He's fast, so it's intriguing. It's exciting to think about, and if he makes the 53-man cuts, it'll be exciting to see what he can do. I like the signing. I think it's good. Andy Reid and them like to take risks on players, and a lot of the time it works out. So I think it's a good signing.
I think it might be the biggest steal out there. I may be prisoner of the moment just watching his highlights and knowing that he has had that international training that they did over there. As far as like, I don't know what you call it. I don't remember the name of it, but it's kind of like being an intern and learning the game for European players. But he looked incredible. And like you said, the fastest player in the NFL it's crazy. Like I've never seen that sort of thing, especially from a rugby player. And he looks physical. He looks agile, athletic. I mean, he just looks great. So if he can just catch the ball, we're going to do well this year. I'm ready. What do you think about the Chiefs' chances to go back to back to back?
I like their chances. Baltimore, they got Derrick Henry, but Baltimore don't scare me still. Buffalo, they got rid of pretty much all their star players except for like Dawson Knox and Josh Allen. So I could definitely see them taking a bit of a dip. They'll still make the playoffs, but they definitely don't scare me now. Jacksonville, they're still just a little too young to, get past the Chiefs. Cincinnati, it's always going to be a rival, but we've proven we can beat them. I like the chances. Bringing in Marquise Hollywood Brown, Rasheed Rice, and then if you draft a receiver like Troy Franklin or Romo Dunze, Lad McConkey, one of those guys, I think they have a great chance to go and get this 3P done.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, losing Snead sucked, but we've got McDuffie. We got a lot of young talent back there in the secondary, and I think our defense has really just improved. Um, like last year was a huge improvement over the previous couple of years, and I think we're just going to keep heading down that path with Spags. Yeah, I mean, if you look at my pin tweet on Twitter, you can just figure out my my answer to that question.
Well, if you think about it, it's really not a 3P. Ain't crazy because if you look at it, Mahomes was close to getting a 5P. And listen, if the Chiefs would have had a little bit of a better offensive line in Super Bowl 55, that's a win. I believe, was it D Ford that lined up offsides against the Patriots? If he wouldn't have lined offsides, that's a win. That's a 5P right there.
Yeah, I mean they went on to the Patriots went on to play the Rams, and what did they score, like 9-7 or something ridiculous? The Chiefs would have mopped the floor with the Rams.
That would have been 2 more Super Bowls for Mahomes, 2 less for Brady. So this would it's not a 3-peat's not out of this world because we were very close to a 5-peat.
Yeah, it's always on the table with Patrick Mahomes that they win the Super Bowl. The guy does not miss AFC Championship games. I mean, that's just incredible. And I honestly think, Bryce, that potentially, had he started towards the end of 2017, I think they might have had a chance to win the Super Bowl then. I think that was what was kind of holding them back in that playoff game was the quarterback play. No disrespect, because I love Alex, and he's a warrior, and he's awesome. But that's just my 2 cents. So, anything else you'd like to throw out there before we go?
I got a good question for you. I've been thinking about this a lot. Who do you want to replace Andy Reid when he retires?
Oh my gosh!
You want Steve Spagnuolo? Because for me, I wouldn't mind Steve Spagnuolo stepping up.
I mean, it's something I've thought about over the years, and right before Matt Nagy came back, I was thinking, well, maybe they're going to save a seat for Matt Nagy. But the way the offense was this year, I don't know that I want that to happen. I mean, he's a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator, but the offense was kind of undisciplined, a lot of drops. So I'm with you. I think Steve Spagnuolo, if he wants it, I think that would be the perfect choice. I think the players love him. They respect him. Heck, we've heard the players call him the best defensive coordinator of all time, and I don't think that they're necessarily wrong. So, yeah, if he can lead the entire team, then let's go. I'm down with that. I think it'd be a smarter move than finding the hot 35-year-old college OC somewhere, or something like that, an unproven talent. I think just right away I would go with somebody in-house like Spags. That's a good answer.
Yep. And, I like Ben Johnson. He's the Lions offensive coordinator. I think he's, a great coach, but he'll be a head coach by the time Andy Reid retires, so he'll be off the table. But so Ben Johnson is who I would firstly want, but he'll be gone. So Steve Spagnuolo, that would be my answer.
The only to play devil's advocate, the only issue I would have is that I think Andy's going to coach well into his 70s. And I could be wrong. I mean, he's only human, and he's been doing this a very long time. But that would also make Steve Spagnuolo pretty far up there in age. So only time will tell.
Yep. And, where do you think Bill Belichick coaches next season?
Say that again. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Where do you think Bill Belichick coaches next season?
I think I'll be flipping burgers at McDonald's.
He's writing a book. I just saw that yesterday. He's writing a book. So that'll be interesting.
I don't know if he were to come back to the NFL, he's not going to take a job somewhere like the Jets or which he quit, by the way, after like a day, or the Panthers or some awful organization. He's going to have to go somewhere that will give him where the ownership will give him a lot of control. And I don't know if that's something anybody wants to do nowadays with all the player empowerment. A lot of players don't want to play for somebody who's not really like a super like players coach. Although, there's a lot of players that played for him that respect him and admire him. I just think his old school methods of hard-nosed football coach just don't fly as well nowadays. Andy still kind of can get away with it, but he's also winning. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with him. It may be the end. It's kind of silly to say that because he won so much and he's quite possibly the greatest coach of all time. So it is a little bit goofy for me to sit here and say that I don't think he's coach next year. But I just don't. I don't see where he would do that. Maybe the Giants fired their coach. Maybe he'd go somewhere like that. But he'll need to have his own control, get his own quarterback, bring his own.
I got an idea. Chiefs defensive line coach Joe Cullen. He was up for some defensive coordinator jobs at the University of Michigan, and I think Washington saw him. So if he were to go in the next couple of years, let's bring on Bill Belichick for our D line coach.
I mean, I'd like that. I don't think there's no chance he's.
It wouldn't happen, but
I like where your head's at, though.
Yeah.
But hey, Bryce, it's great having you on. I want everybody to make sure and follow Bryce on Twitter. Make sure and log on to YouTube and check out Arrowhead News and Rumors Report. Make sure to like and subscribe there. And I appreciate you coming on, Bryce. And
no problem. Anytime.
Let's go, Chiefs.